Hey guys, this video is about how not to freak out about thinking you have weak wrists when you start L-sit exercises and your wrists hurt like crazy. When I first started training my transverse abdominis through L-sits, I experienced a lot of wrist pain, and I thought, man, I just have weak wrists and this isn't for me, and I'm not going to be able to do this. But that's not actually the case. For most people, we don't have weak wrists, we have weak hands, and that's what's allowing us to put too much pressure on our wrist right here. I experienced a lot of pain right here and right here for about the first 3 weeks that I was training my TVA through L-sits. I picked up some exercises from my personal trainer and then from some other folks and looking online. So this video is to share with you guys what helped me develop forearm and hand strength that eliminated my wrist pain. Now I don't experience it at all. So first of all, and maybe simplest depending on what you have around your house, training hand strength. This is a little 2.5 pound weight that I picked up at my local grocery store. To train your finger strength, you can pinch and hold this weight, and you'll just hold it until your fingers give out. If this feels too light, you can go up to a 5 pound. When I first started training my fingers like this, I was hardly able to hold this for half a second. Word of advice, practice over your couch or something. If you're holding it over the floor, you might dent your laminate if you're like me and upset your husband. And then you'll switch to the next finger and just hold one finger at a time, and this will specifically strengthen the interior of your hand so you're able to grip more on the floor. And what that's going to do is alleviate the pressure on your wrists, and so you won't feel as much pain. See how strong my pinky is? That one's the hardest for me. So you'll do this just a couple of times a day. If you've never trained hand strength before, your hands will probably be pretty sore the next day. Mine were when I started. But you'll develop strength really surprisingly fast, and it'll eliminate that pain you're feeling in your wrist. Another thing that you can try, if you have tennis balls or can pick them up, is holding plank position with a tennis ball. So like we talked about, the reason that you're likely experiencing wrist pain is because when you're pressing your hand down on the ground like this, you don't have the forearm strength here and the finger strength to keep the weight out of your wrist. And so you're using your bone right here and feeling really heavy in the heel of a hand. And so that's putting too much pressure right here on your wrist, and that's what causes this pain. So to prevent that, we can hold plank position on tennis balls, and that will prevent us from being able to touch the floor with our wrist. And so we won't be able to lean on that. And it'll help strengthen your fingers. I could only do this for a few seconds when I first started. It was very challenging. So you'll press your fingertips into the ground, and I thought, man, my hands are too small for this. But as my fingers got stronger, I was able to hold it more. And you'll just press your fingers into the ground as hard as you can. You can strengthen your core, you can kind of shift back and forth, moving your weight. And you'll notice that my wrist can't press down into the mat or into the ball because of the round ball in the middle of my hand. So that will force you to put weight in your fingers, which will in turn strengthen them and reduce your wrist pain when you're in a regular plank position or lifting in your L-sit. Another neat tool that I found, I think on Amazon, are little hand strengtheners. So they come in different resistance levels and strengthen your hands in 2 ways. So there's a gripping tool that you squeeze in, and that strengthens your ability to press into the ground because you're actually doing this when you're pressing into the ground. And then there's the reverse. So these cute little things that my kids love that you put on your fingers and then stretch your grip out. And that actually is not only going to increase your hand strength, it exercises this muscle right here in your forearm. And so that's going to build strength here in order to help you take pressure out of your wrist. And the little package I bought came with 3 different levels of strength, so soft to hard. And you can just do that a few times a day when you think about it. And as you progress through the exercise, you'll find yourself getting additional arm strength and additional finger strength, and your wrist pain will disappear.